The weather is starting to get better, and spring has definitely hit the island. The trees are leafing out in green, and the temperature is increasing. We are on our way to the town of Duncan, British Columbia to explore a museum full of artifacts. This is the BC Forest Discovery Centre.
Ooh, look at all the woods.
No crack. And then let's look at the other kind of bug.
It says, hi, my name is Ringo. There you go.
The BC Forest Discovery Centre is a 100-acre open-air museum with an operational railway. The centre features forest and marsh trails with excellent bird-watching opportunities. The story of BC's forest industry is shared through exhibits, heritage buildings, and logging artifacts. Special events are offered throughout the year that include family activities and workshops for adults and seniors. The BC Forest Discovery Centre is charged with collecting and preserving artifacts relevant to coastal forestry, as well as educating the public about life, work, and the environment in forest communities of coastal British Columbia. The BC Forest Discovery Centre is seen in its local community and around the province as a successful museum and superb attraction because of a visitor-centered approach. Currently, most main areas of the site are wheelchair accessible. Caregivers and support workers are admitted free of charge if they accompany someone who is unable to visit the site without assistance. The centre also welcomes well-behaved leashed pets. Think of the train museum, Ajo?
Good.
What do you think of this place?
Good.
What did you see today?
We saw a lot of things.
Saw a lot of things. There's still lots more to see. Do you
Yeah.
want to see?
Yeah. I just saw a lot of things. No matter what I saw it.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be right there.
From its origins as a private collection assembled by founder Gary Welburn and his family, the BC Forest Discovery Centre has grown to become one of Duncan's favorite attractions. The museum's collection include over 5,000 artifacts ranging from operational steam locomotives to chainsaws, as well as a dozen heritage buildings.
Fish.
By the BC Forest Service to watch out for forest fires. They were generally located on
Before opening its doors in 1965, Gary had been accumulating quite an extensive collection of trains and other forestry-related items. He started his collection for his personal enjoyment and the museum for the community. In 1923, he moved his wife Ethel May and daughter Lois to Courtney, where he worked in logging and sawmilling. He was soon promoted to foreman and worked for several companies on the island and mainland. In the early 1930s, he founded Welburn Timber Limited, a sawmilling and logging company in Duncan. In 1943, he sold the company to his friend, H.R. McMillan, and continued on as manager of what is now the Shawnigan division of McMillan Bloedel. Yes, the same H.R. McMillan that the McMillan Park on the way to Port Alberni is named after. During his career, Gary started logging with 6 horses, progressed to using steam yarders, and was one of the first to use Caterpillar tractors and trucks. He and others proved that not only were trucks cheaper to run than railways, but that the flexibility of being able to select cutting areas provided much improved forest practices. He was a founder of the Truck Loggers Association and made an honorary member of the Association of Professional Foresters. Few people know the remarkable man who collected donkey engines, locomotives, and tools of the logging industry, pulling them from scrap yards and out of the bush to create the unique Living Museum of Forestry. In fact, BC's first theme museum, which guided the formation of places like Fort Steele. In 1965, on May 24th, the museum was open to the public. Paid attendance for the year totaled 16,881. The first passengers were carried on the rail line. In 1966, on June 4th and 5th, the Cowichan Valley Forest Museum officially opened. The first year, paid attendance totaled 28,369. The museum showed an operating profit. In 1967 to 72, 4 more pieces of property immediately adjacent to the museum were purchased, and the 21-hectare or 51-acre Windier property was added.
But
In 1974, the museum had grown to over 38 hectares or 95 acres in size. The collection and properties were conveyed to the provincial government and designated a historical site under the Archaeological and Historic Sites Protection Act. A new society was formed under the guise of the local government to administer the site. Local representation remained on board. During his last visit to the museum for Pioneer Day celebrations in 1991, as he looked out over the crowd of some 3,000 pioneers he was going to address, Gary offered a comment. "I think you're finally getting it right." Day-to-day operations during the open season continue to challenge the staff and board. The collection has grown and the attendance has increased significantly over the years.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met.
Today's British Columbia Forest Museum Board acknowledges the contributions of its early directors, the skilled and devoted staff, and its many generous partners for their wisdom, assistance, generosity of time, materials, and financial support over the past 36 years. With these contributions, the museum is better positioned and able to meet the diverse needs of today's visitors as well as future challenges.
Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be be the best thing that I'll ever know.
If you haven't had a chance to check out the BC Forest Discovery Centre, I would highly recommend it. There's a ton to look at, and you'll definitely have a great time. Get out and explore your home. And as always, I wish you were here.
Oh, this could be the best thing.